I was settling in for my usual Friday night Netflix binge when I got a notification that changed everything. Your Netflix account is being used at a new location. If this wasn't you, please review your account activity. My husband Jake was sitting right next to me on our couch, scrolling through his phone. We were both home, both on our Wi-Fi network, both using our usual devices. So why was Netflix telling me our account was being accessed from somewhere else? Jake, I said, showing him my phone screen. Did you log into Netflix somewhere else today? He glanced at the notification without much interest. No, probably just a glitch. You know how these apps are. But something about his casual dismissal made me suspicious. Jake was usually curious about tech issues, always wanting to troubleshoot problems. His lack of concern seemed forced. I opened our Netflix account settings and clicked on Manage Access and Devices. What I saw made my stomach drop. There were 5 devices listed as recently active on our account. My laptop, Jake's tablet, our smart TV, my phone, and one more. Living room TV, Maple Glen Apartments, Unit 4B. Maple Glen Apartments. I'd never heard of that address, and we certainly didn't have a TV there. Jake, what's Maple Glen Apartments? What? He looked up from his phone, and I caught a flash of panic in his eyes before he composed himself. I have no idea. Probably someone hacked our account. It shows the device was active 30 minutes ago. Someone was watching Netflix at Maple Glen Apartments while we've been sitting here. We should change our password then. Jake's eagerness to change the password immediately struck me as odd. If someone had hacked our account, wouldn't we want to investigate first? Figure out what they'd been watching, how long they'd had access. I scrolled through the viewing activity before Jake could grab my phone. The recent activity showed a pattern that made my blood run cold. Tuesday, 3:47 p.m., The Notebook, watched from Maple Glen Apartments. Wednesday, 8:23 p.m. When Harry Met Sally, watched from Maple Glen Apartments. Thursday, 6:15 p.m. Bridget Jones's Diary, watched from Maple Glen Apartments. Someone at Maple Glen Apartments had been watching romantic comedies on our Netflix account for the past week. Movies that Jake had never shown any interest in during our 8 years of marriage. But here's what really made me suspicious. These viewing sessions were happening during times when Jake said he was working late at the office. If you're finding this story as shocking as I did when I lived it, please hit the like button and stick around until the end. Because what I discovered next about my husband's secret Netflix viewing completely destroyed everything I thought I knew about our marriage. I kept scrolling through the viewing history, my heart pounding as more details emerged. Last week, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. from Maple Glen Apartments. The week before, Pretty Woman. Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. from Maple Glen Apartments. 3 weeks ago, The Proposal. Thursday at 4:20 p.m. from Maple Glen Apartments. This wasn't random hacking. Someone had been systematically watching romantic movies on our account for over a month, always from the same location, always during Jake's supposed work hours. Jake, I said carefully. I'm looking at our viewing history. Someone's been watching romantic comedies from Maple Glen Apartments for weeks. Jake's face went pale. Let me see that. He reached for my phone, but I pulled it away. Why would a hacker want to watch The Notebook and When Harry Met Sally? And why always during your work hours? I don't know, Lisa. Maybe it's someone's grandmother who can't afford her own Netflix account. Someone's grandmother who happens to have access to our login information and watches movies at the exact times you're supposedly at work. Jake was getting defensive now, which made me more suspicious. What are you implying? I'm not implying anything. I'm asking direct questions about why our Netflix account is being used at an address I've never heard of. I decided to dig deeper. I grabbed my laptop and started researching Maple Glen Apartments while Jake watched nervously. Maple Glen Apartments was a luxury complex about 20 minutes from our house. The kind of place where young professionals lived, with amenities like a fitness center, pool, and modern appliances. Jake, do you know anyone who lives at Maple Glen Apartments? No. Are you sure? Because our Netflix account has been accessed from Unit 4B multiple times over the past month. I told you, someone probably hacked our account. But Jake's explanation wasn't adding up. Netflix doesn't just accidentally log into random apartments. Someone had deliberately entered our login information at that specific address. I called Netflix customer service while Jake sat beside me, growing more agitated by the minute. "Hi, I'm calling about suspicious activity on my account. Someone's been accessing my Netflix from an address I don't recognize." The customer service representative was helpful. "I can see the activity you're referring to. The device was registered from an IP address at Maple Glen Apartments about 3 weeks ago. Someone logged in using your username and password from that location." 3 weeks ago? So this started 3 weeks ago? That's when we first detected login activity from that IP address. Yes. I hung up and looked at Jake. "Netflix says someone logged into our account from Maple Glen Apartments 3 weeks ago using our correct username and password." "That's not hacking, Jake. That's someone who knows our login information." Jake was quiet for a long moment. I could see him calculating, trying to figure out how much I knew, how much he could still deny. "There's something I need to tell you," he said finally. "I'm listening." "I've been seeing someone." The words hit me like a physical blow, even though I'd started to suspect as much. "Seeing someone how?" "I've been having a relationship with someone. Her name is Amanda. She lives at Maple Glen Apartments." "For how long?" 3 weeks. The same 3 weeks someone's been watching romantic comedies on our Netflix account from her apartment. Yes, I stared at my husband of 8 years, trying to process what he was telling me. "You gave our Netflix password to your girlfriend? She doesn't have her own account. I thought it would be nice to let her use ours." "You thought it would be nice to share our family Netflix account with the woman you're cheating on me with." I wasn't thinking clearly. "Jake, you've been having an affair, and you gave your lover access to our Netflix account so she could watch romantic movies while you were supposedly at work." "It sounds worse when you put it like that." "How does it sound better? You've been lying to me about working late while actually watching movies with another woman using our shared Netflix account." The absurdity of it was almost as devastating as the betrayal itself. My husband had been so careless about his affair that he'd been using our joint entertainment account to have romantic movie nights with his girlfriend. "How did you meet Amanda?" "At the coffee shop near my office. We started talking and you decided to start an affair." "I decided to see what it would feel like to be with someone new while staying married to me. I wasn't planning to leave you. I just wanted to experience something different." "So you started a relationship with Amanda and gave her access to our Netflix account so you could have cozy movie nights together." "We weren't just watching movies. We were getting to know each other by watching The Notebook and Bridget Jones's Diary." "Amanda likes romantic comedies." I was trying to understand what she enjoyed. I looked at the Netflix viewing history again. Jake had never willingly watched a romantic comedy with me in 8 years of marriage. But he'd spent 3 weeks watching them with Amanda, using our account, during time he'd told me he was working. "Jake, what were you planning to do? Keep having an affair indefinitely while sharing our Netflix account with your girlfriend?" I was trying to figure out what I wanted. "Did you figure it out?" "I think so." "What do you want?" Jake was quiet for a long moment. "I want to explore my relationship with Amanda. While staying married to me? I don't know. Maybe we could work something out." "Work something out? Like what?" "Like an open marriage, or a separation while I figure things out." I stared at my husband, who had just suggested an open marriage so he could continue his affair with the woman who was using our Netflix account to watch romantic comedies. "Jake, you want me to agree to let you openly date Amanda while staying married to me? I want us to be honest about what we both need. What I need is a husband who doesn't lie about working late while actually watching movies with his girlfriend. Amanda makes me feel alive in ways I'd forgotten were possible." "Amanda makes you feel alive? Or romantic comedies make you feel alive?" "Being with someone who's excited about the same things I am." "You hate romantic comedies." "I thought I did. Amanda helped me see them differently." I realized I was arguing with my husband about his newfound appreciation for romantic comedies, while he was asking for permission to continue cheating on me. The Netflix account, I said. How long were you planning to let Amanda use our account? I hadn't thought about it. You hadn't thought about the fact that sharing our Netflix account would create a digital trail of your affair? I didn't think you'd check the account activity. You didn't think I'd notice notifications about our account being used at a new location? I thought you'd just ignore them. Jake had been so focused on having an affair that he'd forgotten we shared a Netflix account, and that streaming services track viewing activity by location and device. Jake, every romantic comedy Amanda watched shows up in our viewing history. Every time you were at her apartment, Netflix was documenting your location. I realize that now. Do you realize how insulting this is? You've been cheating on me and letting your girlfriend use our shared entertainment account to watch romantic movies, while I thought you were working. I know it looks bad. It doesn't just look bad, it is bad. I spent the next hour going through our entire Netflix history, documenting Jake's affair through his viewing patterns. 3 weeks of romantic comedies watched at Maple Glen Apartments during his supposed work hours. But I also noticed something else in the viewing history that made me even angrier. Amanda had been watching our account for weeks, but she'd also been deleting items from our continue watching list. Movies I'd been in the middle of watching had disappeared from my queue. TV shows I'd been following had been removed from my list. Amanda hadn't just been using our account. She'd been actively managing it, deleting my content to make room for her preferences. Jake, Amanda's been deleting my shows from our queue. What do you mean? She's been removing movies and TV shows I was watching. She's been customizing our Netflix account to her preferences. I didn't know she was doing that. Your girlfriend has been managing our family Netflix account like it's her personal entertainment service. I'll talk to her about that. You'll talk to her? Jake, I don't want Amanda using our Netflix account at all. I don't want your affair partner having access to our family entertainment service. She doesn't have anywhere else to watch movies. That's not my problem. Lisa, can't we work something out? Work what out? You want to keep cheating on me while your girlfriend uses our Netflix account. I want us to be mature about this situation. Mature? Jake, you've been lying to me for 3 weeks, watching romantic comedies with another woman using our shared account, and now you want me to be mature about it? The divorce papers were filed 2 weeks later. Jake moved out immediately and, I learned later, moved in with Amanda at Maple Glen Apartments. I changed all our streaming service passwords and removed Jake's access to our shared accounts. I also checked our other shared services, Spotify, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and found evidence of Amanda's usage there too. She'd been using our Spotify account to create romantic playlists with Jake. She'd been ordering items to her apartment using our Amazon Prime account. She'd been accessing our Hulu account to watch romantic TV shows. My husband's affair had been conducted using our family entertainment accounts, with Amanda essentially becoming a third member of our digital household, while I remained unaware. 6 months after the divorce, I heard through mutual friends that Jake and Amanda had broken up. Apparently, the romantic comedy phase of their relationship had worn off, and they'd discovered they didn't have much in common beyond their shared love of cheating on their spouses. Amanda had been married too, it turned out. Her husband had discovered the affair the same way I had, through streaming service activity. Amanda had been using her family's accounts to conduct her affair with Jake, just like Jake had been using ours. 2 marriages destroyed by careless streaming service usage. I eventually started dating again. Marcus was different from Jake, more honest about his feelings, more respectful of boundaries. When we decided to share streaming accounts, we had an honest conversation about preferences, passwords, and viewing habits. I want us to be completely transparent about everything, Marcus told me. Shared accounts, shared spaces, shared lives, no secrets, no hidden activities. Marcus was right. The Netflix account that exposed Jake's affair had taught me that sharing digital services requires the same trust and communication as sharing a home or a bank account. Technology meant to entertain us had instead documented Jake's betrayal. The streaming service that was supposed to bring us together for movie nights had been used to facilitate his affair with another woman. Jake's Netflix usage had created a digital diary of his relationship with Amanda, complete with timestamps, locations, and viewing preferences. Every romantic comedy they'd watched together had been recorded in our account history. The notification about our account being used at a new location had been Netflix's way of protecting our security. But it had also been Netflix's way of telling me that my husband was building a new life with someone else. One romantic comedy at a time. Sometimes the most devastating discoveries come from the most mundane sources. A streaming service notification, a viewing history, an account settings page. Technology designed to enhance our entertainment instead enhanced my understanding of my husband's deception. My husband's Netflix account was being used at another address because my husband was living another life. The digital trail he had left behind told the whole story, one movie night at a time.